Plato's Republic. What makes a good society? Imagine you're gathered with your closest friends, perhaps after a long day, and the conversation drifts, as it often does in good company, to the really big questions. What's the point of it all? What does a genuinely good life look like? And, crucially, what kind of society allows us to live it? That's essentially the electrifying starting point of Plato's Republic, a monumental work that isn't just an ancient text. It's a vibrant, sometimes challenging, blueprint for a perfectly ordered political community, known as the Callipolis, or the beautiful city. Now, many of us, when we think of a good society, immediately jump to things like high GDP, personal freedom, or technological marvels. But Plato, through the voice of his teacher Socrates, takes us on a far more interior and surprisingly modern journey. For him, the key to a good society lies not in its infrastructure or its wealth, but in its soul. The architect of the soul state, harmony is king. The most distinctive and often debated feature of the Republic is its radical, tripartite structure, which Plato mirrors perfectly between the individual soul and the state. Forget simple democracy or oligarchy for a moment. Plato's good society is built on three distinct classes, each corresponding to a part of the soul. 1. The rulers, guardians, representing the rational part of the soul, logistikon. Their virtue is wisdom, Sophia. They are the philosophers, trained rigorously not in rhetoric, but in the ultimate truth, the form of the good. They rule purely because they possess knowledge, not for wealth or power. 2. The auxiliaries, soldiers, representing the spirited part of the soul, thymoides. These are the defenders of the state, trained from youth to be fierce yet disciplined, putting the community's safety above their own lives. 3. The producers, artisans, farmers, merchants, representing the appetitive part of the soul, epithemetikon. Their virtue is temperance, sophrosine. They focus on generating the necessary goods and services for the city's material needs. The magic happens when these three parts are in perfect harmony, with the rational part, the rulers, firmly in control, guiding the spirited part, the auxiliaries, to manage the appetitive part, the producers. This state of internal balance is what Plato calls justice, dikaiosune. Justice, in this view, isn't just about fair laws. It's about everyone doing the one job they are naturally best suited for, and sticking to it. It's a profound idea. A just society is simply a well-ordered society. A deeper dive, beyond the simple three. While the tripartite structure is foundational, the Republic offers several other stunningly original and radical concepts that challenge our conventional thinking. 1. The power of the myth and the noble lie. Plato understood that not everyone can be a philosopher, but everyone needs to feel a deep communal bond. To maintain stability, he proposes the myth of the metals, or the noble lie. This myth teaches citizens that they were all born from the earth, but each has a different metal mixed into their soul. Gold, rulers; silver, auxiliaries; or bronze, artisans. This isn't meant to deceive, but to provide a communal identity and an emotionally resonant, non-threatening reason for the social hierarchy. It highlights Plato's understanding that shared belief, even if symbolic, is a powerful social adhesive. 2. Communism of the Guardians, a radical experiment. Perhaps the most startling detail is the radical way of life prescribed for the ruling class, guardians, and auxiliaries. To ensure they are absolutely incorruptible and rule only for the good of the city, they must live a communal life that strips away personal interests. No private property. They can own no gold, silver, or private land. Their needs are met by the producers, living a Spartan existence. No traditional family unit. Wives and children are held in common. This radical step is designed to eliminate the powerful natural bias, the desire to favor one's own family, which often leads to political corruption, nepotism, and dynastic power. Their loyalty is solely to the state, and every child is theirs. This isn't an early plea for economic communism, but a spiritual and political communism designed purely to perfect the character of the rulers. It's a testament to how seriously Plato viewed the threat of self-interest in politics. 3. The philosopher king, rule by pure reason. The central tenet of the Kallipolis is that until philosophers rule as kings, or those who are now called kings and leading men genuinely and adequately philosophize, cities will never have rest from evils. The philosopher king is often ridiculed as an ivory tower idealist, but Plato's vision is far more demanding. The true philosopher is not just a lover of abstract ideas. They are the only ones who have directly grasped the forms, the eternal, perfect blueprints, like the form of justice or the form of beauty, that allow them to truly know what is good. They are compelled back into the messy affairs of state, not out of desire, but out of a duty to serve, having seen the ultimate truth. They rule not by arbitrary will, but by knowledge. The hidden warning, the degeneration of societies. Plato's Republic isn't complete without its profound warning. He describes a cycle of decay, a steady corruption of the ideal state into 4 progressively worse forms, each defined by which part of the soul takes control. 1. Timocracy, rule by honor and ambition, spirited part takes over. 2. Oligarchy, rule by wealth, appetitive part focused on necessary desires takes over. 3. Democracy, rule by unbridled freedom and equality, leading to chaos and the tyranny of unnecessary desires. Appetitive part runs wild. 4. Tyranny, rule by a single individual driven by the worst, lawless desires. The darkest part of the soul completely dominates. This is a startling political science prediction. Plato suggests that too much freedom and the elevation of equality above competence and virtue, democracy, will inevitably lead to such disorder that the populace willingly submits to an autocratic strongman who promises order, tyranny. It's a powerful cautionary lesson for any society that prizes liberty without prioritizing the intellectual and moral development of its citizens. Final thoughts. What the Republic offers us. Ultimately, Plato's Republic is not a travel brochure for an attainable utopia. It's an allegory, a massive thought experiment. It proposes that the perfect state exists only to help us understand the perfect individual soul. It reminds us that a good society depends on discipline, a rigorous pursuit of knowledge, a clear understanding of virtue, and a willingness to put the common good before our private cravings. It asks us, in the most friendly but firm way, are you living a life of internal justice? Because that, above all else, is what truly makes a good society. If this deep dive into the architecture of the soul and the state has sparked some ideas, let me know in the comments below. Which part of the Calopolis do you think modern society needs most? Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss our next big question. And if you found this exploration valuable, please hit that like button to help more thinkers discover Plato's powerful ideas.